First of all, I want to wish you all a happy Monday. I hope everybody's doing well out there. I hope you had a great weekend. I hope everybody was safe. I am going to just say really quickly that I want to appreciate everybody who shares these videos. Keep doing that. Subscriber base is definitely growing, and it's all thanks to your efforts. So I really do appreciate where you all are, where you all are coming from, right? So thank you. Now, I'm just gonna jump right into it today, family. This one is probably gonna be short because I gotta readily admit something. This broadcast is not as logical for me to be doing as it is more emotional. I saw this video that I'm going to show you guys, and I got in my feelings about it. And because, hey, Universal, peace, welcome to the broadcast. And because I'm a little emotional about the circumstance, about the situation, I ain't gonna lie, I didn't really develop a lot of logic around it. And I had somebody really help me out with understanding that just now. So I'm going to try to keep it as logical as possible. But be aware that primarily what we're going to be talking about is just basically based on my feelings about the matter. All right. So I saw this video pop up in my timeline on YouTube here. And it was essentially this video of this woman who was discussing a situation that occurred with her and her husband. Essentially, her husband's side girl or side chick, mistress, whatever you want to call it, ended up in jail on some shit. And she found out about it. The wife found out about it. And subsequently, well, I'll just let her tell her story. All right. And then once the video is done, we're going to talk about it a little bit. All right. And then I'm even going to open it up on Discord and let everybody who wants to comment. All right. So let's just go right to the video. Here we go.
So I'm going through this man phone the other day, and I listened to a voice message that came from the side chick saying that, hey, Benedict, I need you to please bail me out. I'm locked up because I got pulled over for drunk driving, but I didn't know I already had a warrant for a speeding ticket I didn't pay, so they're not going to let me go till somebody bail me out. And I'm thinking, like, don't she have anybody to bail her out? Okay. So she also left in the message what jail she was at. I said, okay. This man don't even like checking his voice message, so I'll go over there. I goes over there. I asked for Felicia. I wanted to speak to her about bailing her out, so they allowed me to speak to her. When she got to the window, she was like, oh, hell no, not you. I said, why not me? We all one family. I mean, my husband don't check his messages. So, his voicemail, I always check it for him. That's the worst thing to do as a side chick, to leave a voicemail, because I know the passcode and I always check it. But I came here to look out for you, though. You asking him to bail you out. I mean, that's my husband, so he really can't bail you out. But if you allow me to go sell a couple of stuff, I said, how much would it cost to bail you out? She's like, the bonds was set at $2,500. I was like, girl, I know you got some stuff in your house that you can sell that can give you $2,500 and get you out of here. I've been in your house. I seen your big screen TV, and your bed is so comfortable and look like you spent at least close to $2,000 on that bed, and your TV look like you spent almost $1,000 on that TV. So if you allow me to go sell it, I'll bring the money back and you be out of here. You can always replace it. She was like, what? Where am I going to sleep? What am I going to watch? I'm like, girl, having a shelter over your head is all that matters. The couch is going to be left. You can sleep on the couch until you replace those material things. And she's like, well, you got a point. You got a point. She was like, you going to come build me? You going to sell it and come build me out for real? I said, sure I am. I mean, you can trust me on that one. They got Facebook Marketplace. They got all kinds of apps. They got Craigslist. I can put that thing on there. They'll come and pick it up the same day, and I'll be here with the cash, to get you out. She was like, okay. So she gave me the go ahead, and I used her key. They gave me the key that she turned in. I went and put that stuff online for sale. I mean, I ended up making $3,200. So I pocketed $3,200, and then I called Benedict. I said, "Have you listened to your voicemail?" He was like, "No." I said, "Do you know that Felicia left a message? She's locked up because she was drunk driving, and there was already a warrant out for a speeding ticket she didn't pay." He was like, "What?" I said, "You need to go bail her out." He was like, "What? You okay with me bailing her out?" I said, "Sure." I mean, like, don't you care about her? I mean, she left a voicemail because she thinks, you know, she trusts that you can bail her out. I mean, go bail her out before she lose her apartment and that thing. You should go bail her out. He's like, "I can't believe you asked me to do this." I was like, "It's your money. I got my money and you pay the bills. It don't bother me. You can go bail her out." Or he said, "Oh, well, my schedule is not going to allow me to go do it. You want to take the money?" I said, "Sure." He said, what's the amount?" I said, $2,500. He went and did the cashier's check for $2,500, wrote it to the county jail, and I took it down there and kept my $3,200. I went on a shopping spree. Yep, I went on a shopping spree while she ain't had no bed or a TV to watch anymore, and he ended up paying for it. Well, yeah, he had to pay for it because he's the one stepping out and doing what he's doing with her. I didn't encourage him to go out there and commit adultery. I didn't encourage her to come try wrecking nobody's home. But when you do things like that, you get to pay. You got to pay the consequences for it. And messing with a wife who really know how to just stay in her lane and make you pay for it.
And there you have it, family. There you have it. You know, okay. Gotta stay calm, Mark Black. Gotta stay calm. All right, so, you know, all the time we talk about the fact that there is no such thing as a unicorn. But I think she just disproved that. I don't think I've seen anybody or heard of anybody who in getting the same situation would be as cold, calculating, premeditated. That motherfucker's got ice water running through her veins, man. Ice water. So let me run it back. All right. So she essentially is going through her dude's phone, right? Let me restart these overlays, you dig? See if we can get shit cracking right. Give me just a sec. And so she's going through all this stuff, you dig? And shit, now I got the chat all fucked up. Whatevs. We just gonna chop it up. I'll fix this shit later. All right. So at any rate, she finds out about Miss Jones, right? Side chick, Felicia, whatever she called her, you dig? All right? And she then proceeds to go and find this motherfucker in jail, right? Because she found out what jail she was in and the whole 9 yards, right? So she proceeds to go and find this motherfucker in jail. And she then manipulates the woman into trusting her to help her out of this bad situation, right? Because if you listen to the story the way she told it, it was interesting how both her husband and the other chick, right, was willing to extend trust to this motherfucker. You feel me? Right? They saw that she knew about the circumstances, right? So both of them readily copped to it. And through her acting like she was being adult about the shit, peace, Sister Kendra, welcome to the broadcast, sister. Glad to have you. Right? With her portraying this role as if she was okay with how the thing was going down. Sister, we talking about snakes in wolves' clothing. And don't worry, I'll elaborate. She was able to manipulate them both into a circumstance that ended up hurting both him as well as her. Right? So she was able, when she was done, to have wounded her husband as well as Mrs. Jones, Felicia, the side chick, whatever the fuck you want to call. All right? And I just got to tell you, family, shit. Okay, so in the interest of trying to use a little logic here, let's look at the circumstances, all right? And I'm going to play around with this motherfucker to try to see if I can get the chat looking decent and all this and that and the third, right? But when you take a look at the circumstances, at the situation, right? You see, give me a second, you see that both of them appear to have been where they were trying to make sense of what initially looked like a nonsensical situation to them, right? Because let's face facts, family. It's not likely that you are going to have your missus find out about Mrs. Jones and she gonna be G with it. I know y'all feeling me, right? Let's face facts. That's not what anybody's expecting in this circumstance. All right? I'm certain her husband wasn't thinking, oh man, I got a good woman here. She gonna understand the circumstances, and I could just make sure that she could either go handle business or I can go handle business. Nope. Right? And I can tell you for a certainty that Felicia, the lady named in the video, was not in any way expecting that this motherfucker was gonna show up at the jailhouse and be doing anything besides rubbing it in her face that she's in a fucked up situation, screaming on her about fucking her man, etc., etc., etc. I know y'all feel me, right? So, with all of this in mind, what I think we need to look at in this, logically speaking, is that first of all, this ties back into what I've been saying on previous broadcasts to the brothers. We have to start being more honest about our situations. Because let's face facts. I'm quite certain that brother was okay with his wife at least, right? I got no indication whatsoever, especially when she found out and told him that she knew about the circumstance, that he was in any way expecting any massive amounts of, bullshit. Sure, he was probably expecting a fight, but I don't think that he was looking to leave his wife, right? So she had a pretty decent situation set up there with her and her man, her husband, all right? So we have to look at the fact that none of this appeared in any way to be about emotions, at least not on her part, all right? I'm well aware of what a woman looks like and sounds like when she's in her feelings about something. All right? We all know what that sounds like. It's a lot of yelling. Somebody's going to get swung on. PCs, welcome to the broadcast, brother. Glad to have you. Right? Somebody's likely to get swung on or some shit going to get broken. Right? We know what sisters in their feelings look like. That video that we watched, did that look like somebody who was having an emotional crisis? Did that look like somebody who was in the midst of losing her mind, thinking that she was about to lose her husband that she loves and cares for so much? Sorry, but the video didn't strike me that way. She was so matter of fact about it, in point of fact that in and of itself was kind of suspect. Y'all tell me if I'm wrong. I'm trying to use some logic here, right? You just found out that your dude and Mrs. Jones got a thing going on. All right? You've been going through his phone, checking his voicemail messages and shit. And you're not going to have an emotional reaction about that. And so you're not going to be feeling some kind of way about that. When you tell the story of your esteemed husband, the one you love, you and him together forever, there's not going to be any type of rancor expressed? Any type of outrage or anger? I mean, shit. This bitch sounded like she was reading the story from an audiobook. We gotta wonder about the mentality, right? We gotta ask some questions about what is it that she really feels about her dude, about her husband. But then, let's take a look at her response. So she finds out, PCRU, salute to you, brother. Welcome to the broadcast. So she finds out about old girl, okay? And her first move is to go after Mrs. Jones, after Felicia. Right? She went straight down to the motherfucking jailhouse, expecting to be able to get in and see this motherfucker. And strangely enough, was able to do so. And then she sits there and has an actual conversation with this motherfucker. Now, Felicia is in extremis, so to speak. She is in a bad situation, right? Arrested for DWI or DUI. Had an outstanding warrant previously for some shit. She in a bad spot. So she vulnerable. So this woman who just found out that her husband violated her trust, right? Lied by omission or commission, depending on the circumstances. Didn't go in full bore. Both hands swinging. She sat there and psychologically manipulated this motherfucker to the point where she was able to get her to agree to start selling off her property in order to pay her bail to get out of jail. That's weirdness number 2. So she puts this shit up on Craigslist or whatever the case may be. It ultimately clears, what does she say, $3,200 or something like that, right? So more than the amount that's needed in order to address the situation with Felicia in jail. Now, after having done all this, I'm assuming now that this story took some days. I don't imagine this bitch's shit was so cold, it just sold like hotcakes in a half hour on Craigslist, and she was able to come up like that, right? Miss Diddy said, I think what threw me for a loop was that she said, I've seen your big screen TV and your bed looks comfortable. Facts. So not only did she find out that her husband was, sleeping with this chick or messing with this chick, but it sounds like that she knew who the chick was. She might have actually befriended the chick, perhaps. To have seen her abode, to have been inside her home. Suspect item number 3. Thank you for that, Miss Denny. That's shit suspect. But then she goes to her dude And she manipulates him as well into copping to, yeah, he's fucking with Felicia. And not only does she lie to him about the circumstance of how she feels about Felicia, but actually manipulates him into having continued interaction with Felicia. Because she told him about the situation and then asks him, is he going to go bail her out? And he's like, you want me to do that? He wasn't even thinking about it. He's like, oh shit, the jig is up. I got to take what's coming to me. But he wasn't on no, I need to go get this bitch out of jail. So she then psychologically manipulates him into agreeing to give her the funds to go and get this bitch out of jail. So she then takes the cashier's check for $2,500, goes and bails the chick out of jail, and pockets the $3,200 worth of shit that she sold out this chick house. Because when you know a wife who stays in her lane and knows how to operate, and you mess with her husband, you got to pay the price. Ain't that a bitch? So we see at least 3 incongruities with this situation. One, she obviously knew about the chick previously, had been in her abode, her residence, right? Probably wasn't aware that, that her old man and her had a thing going on, right? But she knew about this chick. She probably, and I'm conjecturing here because fuck it, I'm well off in the feeling land anyway. I might as well just go ahead. But I would conjecture that based off of the circumstances, it's likely she probably had some degree of jealousy about this bitch. I mean, why would you be sitting there in front of Miss Jones in jail talking about, I've seen your big screen TV and how nice it look and your bed look... Like, that whole shit just... None of that matched anything that you would expect somebody who gives a fuck about anybody in this situation to say. There was nothing about this situation that in any way to me speaks of emotionality. Miss Diddy says, so does that mean she had been there with her husband? Great goddamn question. It's quite likely that that was the case. Wouldn't even be surprising if this is maybe somebody that she may know well from church or something like that, or some other social circumstance or whatever the case may be, but it was obvious that they knew of each other at the very least. But that also would explain how she was able to manipulate this motherfucker to begin with, right? Because you just get locked up in jail on a DUI. You sitting in the drunk tank sobering the fuck up. Then all of a sudden, after you done got your shit together, you get a motherfucking knock on the cell from the CO talking about somebody there to visit you. You ain't had no phone calls except the one you made, and that was to your dude. And then you go out there, you see somebody that ain't your dude. Your first inclination ain't gonna be to tell them a damn thing. You're gonna be sitting there wondering, how the fuck do they know I'm here? But when she saw that it was old girl, she was like, oh, maybe he sent her. Because if you notice something, family, for all the alleged violation of the trust that was going on, strangely enough, when the opportunity came, or at least when they both thought the opportunity came to seal the breach, to fix the issues with trust, where he was like, you sure you want me to go and get her out? She's like, well, you care about her, don't you? He was like, well, shit, yeah, that makes sense. I need to do this for her, right? When she was talking about, hey, we our family, his money, my money. We ain't got it like that to really get you out, but we want to make sure we get you out. She's going, we. That would explain why they were so eager to trust. I'm certain that for him, the idea of having to sneak around, not tell the truth, is stressful. It probably sounded like the motherfucking opportunity of a lifetime to have your missus not only not be going upside your head on some DV shit or tearing your motherfucking house up, but actually saying, hey, you should be a man about your shit and go and take care of this woman that you fucking with. I'm certain this nigga thought he died and went to motherfucking heaven. I'm certain that Felicia was sitting there in jail thinking, damn, you mean to tell me that we can all work together? That we can have peace? That I'm not this fucked up, home-wrecking ass bitch, but actually somebody worth protecting? Somebody worth caring for? No. See, because neither one of them were aware that they was fucking with a snake in wolf's clothing. What do I mean by that? I mean only this. Given the circumstances, it would have been understandable. Not everything she would have done would have been acceptable, but it would have been understandable had she showed an emotional reaction to the situation, had she been upset, had words been exchanged, had shit gotten thrown. While some of that would have never been able to be excusable, we would have understood it, right? If she was on some old wolf shit, squaring up with everybody who did her dirt, we could actually understand that. Again, not excusing any potential behaviors that would have came from her emotional outburst, her emotional reaction. But we could have understood that. But every step of the way, this motherfucker was cold as an iceberg. Ice water running through her veins, calculated, premeditated, plotting, planning, and scheming. Sidling up next to both of them to be able to bite with maximum effect. Family, tell the truth. How many of you motherfuckers watching that video thought, shit, this dude is one lucky motherfucker to have such an understanding woman? She fooled the shit out of us too. She bopped all of us. Almost all the way up to the end. You was thinking, damn, she is remarkably poised, graceful, remarkably elegant, amazingly strong. Name me a motherfucker if you had just seen that video, listening from beginning all the way up to that fuck shit at the end, would have thought this motherfucker was one of the best women you've ever known, that you've ever heard of. Who was so unprepossessing, so humble, so giving and compassionate, that she said, fuck that. Rather than having my man stress out, rather than having this chick stress out, rather than me stress out, let's just go ahead and air it out so that we can step it out. How many of y'all thought that that was what the video was going to end up being? I did. I surely did. Her response, family, was in no way comparable to any alleged harm or slight that was done to her. You are aware of that, right? Like, this bitch essentially committed theft by deception by selling all this chick's property and pocketing the money. She then went on to diminish the resources of her husband by making him pop up for the motherfucking $2,500 to bail this chick out. And she left herself in the driver's seat. She bopped both of them and are going to have them pay for the privilege of continuing to fuck with her. Because you notice she didn't say anything in that video about leaving her husband. You didn't hear anything about an actual resolution except that she went on a motherfucking shopping spree. Maybe that's where those bundles she had on her head came from. And that was it. A snake in wolf's clothing, sitting there on social media, woofing it up like she the bad bitch. Like, I'm not the one you want to fuck with. She ain't a wolf. That was snake. That was cold, calculating. That was premeditated. She committed multiple motherfucking crimes in the commission of sitting there trying to call herself getting back at both her and him. And let me ask you a question. This is something I'd be intrigued to know. So let's say that she decided that somebody was to blame for this matter, right? That she had been harmed or injured in some way, shape, or fashion. Which one of them should she have responded to, right? Was it her husband, right? Was he the one that she should have addressed whatever ill will or rancor or hatred she got about the situation toward? Was it Felicia? These are good questions, right? Because it's obviously clear that her response was way out of proportion to the circumstance. Way out of proportion. Fellas, this is why the continuing to depend on our ability to obfuscate, right, to hide our real feelings about matters, our real experience about things, is only going to continue to come back to bite us in the ass. This right here is living proof, living example of that. I'm not saying it's always easy to be honest. It ain't. But I am saying that perhaps it's the best motherfucking policy, especially in light of the fact that you might think you got a wolf in there with you when you turning out to be sleeping next to a snake. I would love to know what y'all think. If you watch it live, pop something in the chat. Let me know what y'all think on it. I just saw this and the whole thing just struck me as wrong, as flawed, as fucked up, as false, as bullshit. But I would surely be interested to know what y'all think. Anybody want to pop in the Discord and talk and tell me they piece that want to talk about it? Let me know. I'll pop the link in there right now. You see, at the end of the day, what I have to say is essentially this. We have the denial of reality on both sides of the Black House. Absolute fucking denial. Kendra, I'll play the video for you once more here. Give me just a sec.
So I'm going through this man phone the other day, and I listened to a voice message that came from the side chick saying that, hey, Benedict, I need you to please bail me out. I'm locked up because I got pulled over for drunk driving, but I didn't know I already had a warrant for a speeding ticket I didn't pay, so they're not going to let me go till somebody bail me out. And I'm thinking, like, don't she have anybody to bail her out? Okay. So she also left in the message what jail she was at. I said, okay. This man don't even like checking his voice message, so I'll go over there. I goes over there. I asked for Felicia. I wanted to speak to her about bailing her out, so they allowed me to speak to her. When she got to the window, she was like, oh, hell no, not you. I said, why not me? We all one family. I mean, my husband don't check his messages. So, his voicemail, I always check it for him. That's the worst thing to do as a side chick, to leave a voicemail, because I know the passcode and I always check it. But I came here to look out for you, though. You asking him to bail you out. I mean, that's my husband, so he really can't bail you out. But if you allow me to go sell a couple of stuff, I said, how much would it cost to bail you out? She's like, the bonds was set at $2,500. I was like, girl, I know you got some stuff in your house that you can sell that can give you $2,500 and get you out of here. I've been in your house. I seen your big screen TV, and your bed is so comfortable and look like you spent at least close to $2,000 on that bed, and your TV look like you spent almost $1,000 on that TV. So if you allow me to go sell it, I'll bring the money back and you be out of here. You can always replace it. She was like, what? Where am I going to sleep? What am I going to watch? I'm like, girl, having a shelter over your head is all that matters. The couch is going to be left. You can sleep on the couch until you replace those material things. And she's like, well, you got a point. You got a point. She was like, you going to come build me? You going to sell it and come build me out for real? I said, sure I am. I mean, you can trust me on that one. They got Facebook Marketplace. They got all kinds of apps. They got Craigslist. I can put that thing on there. They'll come and pick it up the same day, and I'll be here with the cash, to get you out. She was like, okay. So she gave me the go ahead, and I used her key. They gave me the key that she turned in. I went and put that stuff online for sale. I mean, I ended up making $3,200. So I pocketed $3,200, and then I called Benedict. I said, have you listened to your voicemail? He was like, no. I said, do you know that Felicia left a message? She's locked up because she was drunk driving, and there was already a warrant out for a speeding ticket she didn't pay. He was like, what? I said, you need to go bail her out. He was like, what? You okay with me bailing her out? I said, sure. I mean, like, don't you care about her? I mean, she left a voicemail because she thinks, she trusts that you can bail her out. I mean, go bail her out before she lose her apartment and that thing. You should go bail her out. He's like, I can't believe you asked me to do this. I was like, it's your money. I got my money and you pay the bills. It don't bother me. You can go bail her out. Or he said, oh, well, my schedule is not going to allow me to go do it. You want to take the money? I said, sure. He said, what's the amount? I said, $2,500. He went and did the cashier's check for $2,500, wrote it to the county jail, and I took it down there and kept my $3,200. I went on a shopping spree. Yep, I went on a shopping spree while she ain't had no bed or a TV to watch anymore, and he ended up paying for it. Well, yeah, he had to pay for it because he's the one stepping out and doing what he's doing with her. I didn't encourage him to go out there and commit adultery. I didn't encourage her to come try wrecking nobody's home. But when you do things like that, you get to pay. You got to pay the consequences for it. And messing with a wife who really know how to just stay in her lane and make you pay for it.
There you go, Kendra. And like I said, I think Miss Denny might be on to something. Because this shit makes you wonder if they was all fucking. Like I said, it seemed to have been a little bit too much familiarity there for this girl to just be some random ass side chick. Kendra said the women know each other, period. The wife is fine with the side chick. She tried to be trifling, but she just mad at the side chick for something personal. Fucking her man didn't make her mad. I think I'm feeling comfortable at this point with saying facts. Facts. This don't sound like no. Look, nothing about that motherfucking video indicated in any way that she was emotionally fucked up behind finding out that her man got a side chick. Felicia, Mrs. Jones, whatever you want to call it, right? Nothing about that. Nothing about that video tells me anything. CRU, can you hear it, bruh?
Oh yeah, I can hear you now. I guess I'm hearing the background.
Oh, okay, got you. Jack Spade said, when it comes to women, notably black women, nothing outside the rationale of reality and common sense should be left off the table, which is why a black man needs to maintain his bearing and draw lines. Facts. Which is my whole point in this matter. You know what I'm saying? Like, I ain't gonna front. This whole damn thing seems to be a little bit off-brand to me now that we starting to kind of break it down together. That's why I wanted to do a broadcast on this. Because I have my emotional response and it just don't fucking feel right. Like that, nothing about that video is congruous with anything that we familiar with. Kendra said her and the side chick fuck each other. I bet you anything they've been in some threesomes before. Mad the side chick don't want to fuck her without the husband present. That's what it is. Shit, wouldn't surprise me, Ken. You probably got it on the motherfucking barrel here with this one. CRU, what you got to say on this, brother?
Well, in my opinion, and I'm not a woman, but I think that the wife knows about the side chick. She just don't like her. You know what I mean? She's like, yeah, well, you're here. I got to deal with you. But here's how I'm going to deal with you. I'm going to sell your TV and your mattress and go shopping, and that's it. And y'all sort that out because I'm going to win from this.
You see, now that's the thing that fucked me up, CRU, right? Because if you notice what I said earlier, out of everybody involved, she made sure that she came out with her head above water. Fuck her husband, fuck the bitch, fuck everybody, right? She made sure she got to come up out of this.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, she knew her husband was going to go bail her out anyway or do something. But she got her come up because, yeah, when dude is not at home and if she's actually being the real wife she's supposed to be, then she feels some type of way. You know what I mean? If he's out there cheating or doing, you know what I mean? If they don't have no understanding about this.
Yeah, facts.
So she's like, well, shit, she's like, well, shit, let me get my come up real quick. You know what I mean? I've done things like that to people I don't like before. Like I've just turned the other, you know what I mean? Turned my eye, averted my eye. But yeah, when you rob the Brinks truck, well, shit, I'm picking up one of these bags of money. I didn't call the police. You know what I mean?
You know what? And somebody please explain to me how these women can just get on social media and cop the crimes and we never hear about no arrests, no prosecutions, no nothing. What she did by going into this woman's house, selling her shit and pocketing the money was theft by deception. Now, if she had kept her fucking mouth shut, which of course I understand is impossible for ratchet motherfuckers to do, but had she kept her mouth shut, nobody would have known about the theft by deception that she committed, but she fucking confessed to it on social media.
But also, again,
what's up
Mark,
with this?
She played that shit so smooth, right? Because when is the side chick and the husband going to actually talk about who paid the bill? They're going to be over there fucking like they shouldn't be on some sneaky shit. And then it's going to come up, well, your wife came and sold all my furniture. No, I paid the check. I wrote it, you know what I mean? And then it's going to come out like that. So she's setting up some more fuckery for later on too.
Oh, please believe it, because she got them by the short and motherfucking curlies right now. You do understand that. At this motherfucking point, family, that chick is firmly and fully in the driver's seat of not one, but two motherfucking households.
Yeah, I think no. Look, if I were a woman, I would have goddamn near did the same damn thing. You know what I mean? That's just me. But
see,
you know
are
what I
you
mean?
why? Like, explain to me what your logic would have been to support any of that. So again, let's go from an emotional response, right? Okay, she find out about the side chick. Let's assume that they didn't know shit about, like, nothing, right? But she told her the story herself that she knew about this chick, right? So we can't really assume that. But let's assume, for the sake of argument, that she just now finding out about this chick, all right? Now, both of the motherfuckers can't be to blame, right? I mean, if she's putting the onus or the burden of the interaction on her dude, she's going to respond a certain way to her husband. If she's putting the responsibility on Felicia, then she's going to respond a certain way to Felicia. But nobody would expect her to be out there cold-bloodedly, premeditatedly working to do ill to them both. Jack Spade said something I really want to touch on. He said, but as Shahrazad Ali said in her book back in the early 90s, black women were going to be sharing men. Black women called her everything in the book, but yes, there's a segment of black women who are sharing men. Facts. Look, the numbers speak for themselves, because unlike anything else in black women's life, mathematics don't give a fuck about your feelings. If there's 57% of our population that is female, and 43% of our population is male, and that's assuming that we're all available to each other, right? Then that means that there's a certain subset of women that, if we abide by just simple monogamy, means that they're going to go without. Now, we know
and
due
they
to mass
do say
incarceration.
it's like 8-1.
Go ahead,
They say it's like 8-1. Like, my bad, but they say like the available people, like it's really 8-1 for the available people.
Facts. Look, how many dudes? Okay, look, I grew up in the hood, and I'm gonna tell you a solid, sad but true fact. You could grow up in the hood, live in the hood your whole life, and the circle of chicks that you fuck with is gonna be the same. You basically, unless you commit to one of them, you're going to be hopping from the same 8 to 9 chicks. Just trading back and forth. And you're going to be trading those same chicks with the few dudes.
Right. That'll be like me and you in the hood, right? That was your girlfriend last year. She's my girlfriend 2 years from now. And then you got my ex-girlfriend. You know what I mean? It's the same.
Right? That's like I dated this chick. She left. I left her. Right? She ended up with my homeboy Rambo. They got married, had kids together. You know what I'm saying? Me and Rambo was dudes. Right? We was cool. Like, I didn't give a fuck that Rambo and her hooked up. You know what I'm saying? But she just trading around. You know what I'm saying? To different dudes in the hood. The fact is that based off of our circumstances, if you think that a black woman who's going without is going without, you are sadly motherfucking mistaken. She's going to have a man. She's just going to have your man.
Kendra spoke on that before as well. Like, y'all motherfuckers are sharing. Y'all are sharing the same. Look, your stream from Saturday, right? You know what I mean? Like, you went hard on it. But, like, how come the number is so high for the black dudes? Shouldn't it be a balance with the black women? Now, I can understand with, it be more women than there are men. So I can understand how that would skew the women's numbers as their percentage, right? But, damn it, no. The man side was so high. No, it had to be older women. It had to be.
It had to be. Because look, I want to thank you for bringing that up, CRU. CRU is referring to my broadcast on Sucker Free Saturday, where it was talking about the sexual assault and rape of black men. right? When we were looking at the numbers and we saw that sisters didn't even have any real representation until you got into the 15, 16-year-old cohort. Meanwhile, 42% of young black males had already experienced their sexual debut by the time they hit 14. Who the hell was fucking these 14-year-old boys? Let's keep it buck.
Exactly, because if it was 14-year-old girls, then the numbers would be the same. If it was 14, 15-year-old girls, the numbers would be the same around that age. Well, at least the raw numbers. You know what I mean?
I'm glad you mentioned that, brother, because I was talking to Miss Diddy. We caught that shit after the broadcast.
And then it goes back to the other argument of you know how they talk about marriage and who is married and who is not, who's baby mamas and who is the baby daddies and this and that. And like black men have a lower percentage of fathering children. Like women have a higher percentage of mothering children. So who got their ass pregnant? It's the same 20% of these damn, I'm not going to say dusty, but these same
but the same 20% of cats. You can't eliminate most of us from the public sphere through mass incarceration, through drug use and abuse and or being dead, and think that you could just have your pick of the litter. See, again, the denial of the fucking reality of the matter. Instead of us being honest, both with with ourselves as well as each other, brothers definitely need to be more honest, all right? We need to start telling the truth of matters, all right? But not just telling ourselves the truth, but telling the truth to everybody else and making sure that the truth is told to us. The fact is, family, is that we live in a gynocracy with a de facto polygamy sexual structure. So how is it then that we get to pretend that this woman's response to her man's alleged infidelity was in any way proportional to the actual results of that infidelity? We didn't hear about she got no kids with dude. We didn't hear about she done copped any, STIs or venereal diseases, right? She got her money. She made sure to stress that. She said, oh no, you should go and bail her. I got my money. You got your money. You should go bail her out. Don't you care for her? Right?
Yeah, but
so
dude is
where the fuck was the harm?
No, dude is trying to. He's just happy he can slide back into his bed at home with his wife. Like, oh shit, you found out about my side chick, but shit, you cool. You took the check and bailed her out. But she did come up, and I'm like, I'm not really mad at that because motherfucker shouldn't have been lying in the first place. It's not cheating if you know what's going on.
I can't truck with that, man. Because first of all, that was unnecessary as fuck. All right? You know what I'm saying? If you was going to look to do something to this chick or whatever, there's other ways to go about doing it that don't involve, first of all, doing any criminal activity. Because like I said, she committed a criminal act, theft by deception. That's a crime. That's a crime. And she confessed to it. I'm not sitting here throwing that on her. She copped to that. By the way, shout out to the elder BGS. Welcome to the broadcast. Let me read his comment. They've been sharing men. Those men are the only ones that will get them pregnant. Facts.
I do have to push.
Go ahead, CRU. What I think is hella interesting about the whole thing is that now that we done all got together and started building on it and kind of broke it down, there seems to be two possible threads to explain the incongruities that we saw based off of the circumstances. Number one, they was all fucking. And there just seemed to have been some sort of personal interaction that caused her to be, rancorous toward the other chick. You see what I'm saying? Right? Jack
Yep.
Spade said the woman in jail knew she was working a bad deal, but she wanted to get out of jail no matter what. The wife was going to get hers no matter what. So everyone walked away taken care of. I guess that's one way to look at it. You know what I'm saying? Like, even
And
still,
then Mark,
though,
Mark, you was
go ahead,
talking
brother.
about like she like the wife did something illegal, but like if you look at adultery is punishable by death by law. Like way back in the day, it's just now that it's not punishable by that. But you go to Africa and you get caught doing adultery, right? Man, it'll be a bad day for you. It'll be a very, very bad day.
Okay, facts. Now let's talk about that. Because in those same countries where adultery and stuff like that might be punishable by death, you actually have the opportunity as a male to marry more than one woman. So you don't have to be out there committing fornication and adultery.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, but they still
like
have
look
to
at
know.
as Muslims, right? And as a Muslim, like in the Islamic culture, as a Muslim, in the Muslim culture, right? A man can marry 1, 2, 3, or 4 wives, right? Basically, if he has the resources to be able to support them, he has to be just, he has to be equitable, but he's allowed up to 4. So yeah, in a circumstance like that, I can see why adultery would be something that would be greatly punished. But we live in a society where basically everybody's trying to pretend that you got a group of motherfuckers that ain't out there free fucking when everybody is. If you punish adultery like that in this society, we wouldn't have a society. Motherfuckers would be dead. Either that or we'd have to change the
Everybody,
game up
each
and make
and every.
marriage the goal. Because see, the society we live in is so fucked up that rather than this man being able to take and give this other woman protection, give him her name, give her any children or any offspring from their interaction, his protection, his covering, a lineage, we keep acting like that monogamy is just the order of the day on a natural tip, and anybody that violates that is a piece of shit scumbag who deserves whatever they got thrown at them. That don't make sense. That's not the reality of the matter.
Like
And
my
truth be
only problem
told,
with the
see, go ahead, CRU.
like my only problem with the situation is if there's no honesty in it. If the husband has a side chick and the wife already knows about it, then yeah, she's not supposed to do nothing. If she agrees, okay, you can have your side chick, that's cool. That's cool. But now if she didn't know and he's just really cheating on her, because that's what cheating is you're saying one thing and you're doing another. That's cheating. Now if it's like that, then yeah, I think she shit, go shopping. Go do what you gotta do, in my opinion.
I feel you. I feel you. And I wanted other opinions. Like I said, I had an emotional response where it looked like she didn't have one. You know what I'm saying? Like that shit struck me as completely incongruous. But I definitely understand where you're coming from, and I'm thinking that that's probably going to be the dominant idea or the dominant response. That simply put, this is yet another case of a black man slitting his own throat. That because of the lack of honesty he displayed, in the situation, that essentially whatever he get coming to him is what he got coming to him. He got bopped, his side chick got bopped, and all's well that ends well. But I just will say that based off of the circumstances, I hope that this is an object lesson, because the subtitle of this broadcast is an object lesson in fuckery. We need more object lessons. Family, intelligent people learn from their mistakes. Smart people learn from other people's mistakes, you feel me? We need to be looking at these object lessons to observe the dynamics, the power dynamics, the social dynamics, right? The emotional and mental dynamics, the physical dynamics. We need to be unpacking these circumstances and dissecting them so that we can gain a greater understanding of how we, as black males, them as black females, and us as a people have to be operating. So I want to thank my brother CRU for his contribution. I appreciate you as always. I want to give a shout out to the brother Jack Spade. Thank you for joining the broadcast. The elder BGS. Thank you, Sister Kendra. Your words are always greatly and kindly appreciated. I want to give a shout out to Miss Denny and to all of to my brother Cease and to Universal and everybody who catches this on the upload. Make sure you leave a comment. You tell me where you think this situation, what's being reflected in this situation? What's the dynamic as far as you understand it? What do you think the dynamic should be? Let's have a discussion about this one, family. And until the next time I see you, I want to wish you all love, peace, prosperity, and power. Real power to our people.
Hey, I appreciate you, Mark, man. I really do. Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, no problem, brother. Thank you for being on. I appreciate you too as well, man.
And remember, them island girls crazy. So.
Well, you ain't bullshit. You ain't bullshit.
And that's why I say that, because that's why I know that, man, they will tell you, they will do one thing, and you know what I mean, like just like Shorty did, they'll do it like that.